Welcome back, everyone. This is Full Spectrum Survival, bringing you the news that you need to know. Tensions across our Earth continue to escalate. We're seeing conflicts intensifying on multiple fronts. You already know that the ceasefire between Hamas and Israel is officially in collapsed mode. Hostilities are resuming. There's a power imbalance that is very easy to see. One of the world's most advanced military forces, they're beginning to carry out sustained strikes on a population that is already displaced and already living in dire conditions. Meanwhile, the country of Iran remains a critical flashpoint. We have new intelligence coming in suggesting that there is further instability to come. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel here, and please leave a thumbs up and a comment. In the Pacific, China has once again tested Taiwan's airspace. They sent dozens of warplanes into the region, an unmistakable show of force. This signals growing aggression and a readiness to take Taiwan.
Which, don't be surprised if this Taiwan invasion happens very soon. All right. First and foremost, call HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. And double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who teach you well, peace, and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and sincerity. Coming at you with World War III update, rumors of wars, so on and so forth. This is from the channel Full Spectrum Survival, entitled Stockpile Now, U.S. Military Moves In. Countries are stockpiling gold for the crisis ahead. Okay, you can check this video. I'm going to play a little bit more. Then we're going to get into some of these scriptures. All right, but the first scripture I want to open with is Matthew 24:6, because everything that's happening in the world, around the world, these wars, rumors of wars with Israel and Hamas, things are heating up over there. Israel ends ceasefire with Hamas and carries out strikes in Gaza. You also have what recently took place with Trump, ordering strikes on the Houthi rebels in Yemen, you got United States, aircraft carriers in the sea getting hit, Iran's getting involved, America is telling Iran that there's going to be consequences. Russia's saying, you're not going to do shit, roughly paraphrasing. But this is all signs of the end, those birth pains before YAHAWASHI comes back. And every day that goes on, things overseas are heating up, man. These wars on these different fronts are heating up. All right, so let me grab this, Matthew 24:6. All right, it says Matthew 24:6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing when you go on, YouTube, or you turn on the news. Every time you're hearing about a new war breaking out or missiles dropping, Russia, Ukraine, Israel and Hamas, Iran getting involved, American fighter ships that are getting hit with missiles by the Houthis, Yemen, all these talks are just rumors of wars, which ultimately all of this stuff, first and foremost, people are actually dying. And this is all judgment from YAHAWASHI, but these are all signs of the end times, These are all signs that YAHAWASHI warned us of. Because remember, jumping up in Matthew 24, the disciples, they asked YAHAWASHI, what are going to be some of the signs that we would see before you return? And this is what YAHAWASHI said, rumors of wars, pestilence, earthquakes, okay, in diverse places. And we are seeing all of these signs taking place. So when you jump up Matthew 24:3, it says, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So This is Yahawashi's response to that. All right. Verse 6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's one of the signs. So all these signs of the rumors of wars, and these wars are heating up. And it's going to ultimately lead to World War III, okay? And the utter destruction of Mystery Babylon the Great, America, all right? Spiritual sodomy, Egypt. This place is going to be wiped off of the face of the earth in World War III. This is all according to Bible prophecy, okay? Which is what we go into week in and week out, all right? It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that you be not troubled. You know, so we ain't troubled at this stuff. When we see these stuff, we don't, you know, fear this stuff because we know that this is all according to prophecy. All right. We're not troubled at this stuff. Right. It says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we know the end is not yet because, you know, the microchip, the Revelation 13, the digital implantable mandatory micro chip hasn't been ushered in yet, but it is coming soon. Okay. That's another thing. You got this guy, Trump, and Elon Musk, you know, teaming up, you know, with this Doge movement and the government spending and cutting all these different taxes and all this stuff, right? To ultimately usher in the MOTB system, the market of beast system, you know, universal basic income, everybody, you know, getting a basic income, everybody tied to blockchain, everybody paying with digital money. Now, when that takes place, that's how you know that Yahawashi is at the door. Okay? Verse 7, it says, Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation. Yeah, and something that we can all look at, keep your eyes peeled, is, you know, China invading Taiwan. That's coming soon. That's why China is constantly flying warplanes over Taiwan and Taiwan airspace, because ultimately that invasion is coming next. All right. But it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and that's what we're witnessing. Okay. This is all the beginning of the sorrows that's getting ready to take place on the earth. This is just the beginning. All right. These wars are going to heat up. You a few weeks ago, you had Donald Trump link up with, who was that? Zelensky. You know, and things was you know, not going too well, man. You know, and ultimately, you know, Russia, as the scriptures say in Ezekiel, what is that, 38, is going to be a guard unto these smaller nations like Iran. All right. So ultimately, Russia is going to play a major part in the destruction of this place, America, man. All right. Let me play a little bit more of this video. It gets interesting.
At the same time, the war between Russia and Ukraine is raging on. There's no...
Right. And see, people don't, you're not hearing much about it, but that war over there is still going on. People are still dying every single day. While people in America are eating cheeseburgers and, you know, doing OnlyFans and being, you know, wicked, bombs are dropping over there in the Middle East. Bombs are dropping over there in Ukraine. People are dying. All right. And things is going to ultimately reach the shores of America soon. All right. There's going to be civil unrest, even amongst these American people. There's a complete division amongst, you know, the house of these damn Edomites and these Americans in general. All these different nations that are here in America, they're all divided, you know, Democrat versus the Republican. So civil unrest is coming as well. Civil war, civil unrest, people killing each other, you know. And on top of that, we're having all the signs in the world, from YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, the signs in the heaven, the blood moons, you know, food prices skyrocketing, all of this stuff, you know, chariots, you know, so-called UFOs, signs in the oceans. Everything is, you know, pointing towards the return of the Messiah. All right. Any moment now, you know, this chip is going to be mandatory.
Signs of de-escalation. Taken together, these developments point toward a broader pattern of global instability. Now, historically, world wars have not been recognized at the time they happen. It takes years. Before World War II, what we now call World War I was just, as you know and have heard, the greatest war of the time. Conflicts that are unfolding today in the future will be painted by the newspapers as World War III.
Right, absolutely. And that's why we say World War III is already taking place. You know, it's just the beginning stages, all these nations getting ready, fighting each other on different fronts. It's just not mainstream. They don't want to speak on it. They don't want to scare the people. But we know that this is World War III. This is the beginning stages of World War III and the ultimate utter destruction of Mystery Babylon the Great. Okay, this is all part of prophecy. Let's go to Isaiah 9:5 real quick. All right, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Right, so this specific war that's about to take place, which is World War III, which is in the Bible, World War III that's going to be fought with nuclear weapons, these ICBMs, all right? This is how this war is going to take place. It's going to be different. The ancient wars were, with fists and swords and shields. And then as time progressed, technology progressed. You had the Gatling gun and you had, different guns that were created. And now this war is going to be, buttons being pressed, a shiny red button that's going to shoot an arrow or a missile from one end of the earth to the other and cause great destruction. Okay. Cause, what John the Revelator saw, a lake of fire. America is going to be the lake of fire. America is the lake of fire. All right. It's just not on fire yet. All right. But, this is all according to the prophecies of YAHAWASHI. All right. Let's go to Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. All right. It says, "I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of YAHAWASHI, which YAHAWASHI is the Lord's judgment." And this is what the Lord is saying. Look, he said, "I'm going to gather all these nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, YAHAWASHI, which is in the Middle East." And that's what we see taking place with this Israel and Hamas thing that's going to keep heating up. Sooner or later, we know that the scriptures tell you in, Jeremiah 50, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Ultimately, America is going to be drawn into this war because of these small hats, these Israelis, something major is going to go down, a major attack against Israel. And then America is ultimately going to get involved, and it's going to be World War III. America gets involved. Russia gets involved. Russia's allies, America's allies, World War III. Okay. And like I said, this can happen any day now. The chip coming out, the system's pretty much already here. This, the blockchain, the microchips, all of that stuff is pretty much here. It's only a matter of time before they bring it out. But Joel 3 and 2, it says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of YAHAWASHI and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Yeah, and who's the Lord's people? The real people of Israel are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the children of Israel, right? Those people in the land of Israel today that call themselves Jewish, those are not the real people of the Most High. Those are not the true Israelites. Okay, the true Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we have been scattered among the nations, all right, in slavery. All right, and all these nations had a hand in enslaving us. And now we're reaching toward the time of their judgment, all right, which is going to be the destruction of these nations in America and these heathens, these other nations. That's why all this stuff is taking place. The Lord, YAHAWASHI, is doing all of this, man. Okay? That's why we don't have to stock up on guns and fight this devil carnally. We don't got to stock up on weapons and stuff. We just got to wait and prophesy. The Lord is going to do the heavy lifting, and the destruction, the killing. The Lord is going to do that. Okay. But it says, they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, right? The land of Israel. Right now, the land of Israel is parted in two, and that's how you know that those are not the real people too, because the scriptures tell you, when the real Israelites are back in the land of Israel, when the real Jews are back in Israel, there's not going to be no more war taking place all over the earth, which now the whole earth is engulfed in wars on different fronts, which proves to you that those are not the real Jews over there in the land of Israel today. They're frauds. Okay. But let's go ahead. Joel 3:3. It says, and they have cast lots for my people, right? That's what they have done. The heathens, these other nations, the so-called white people, Chinese, Japanese, they have all, sold us into slavery. It says they have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. There you go. And that's what they did. All right. And they don't understand that they got to pay for that. All these nations, you got to pay for what you did to the true Israelites, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are the Israelites. We are God's chosen people. The land of Israel belongs to us. And the Most High, through his son, YAHAWASHI, is going to set us back in our own land. And all these nations, you're going to be in servitude to us. All right? That's the time we entering into. But right now, the Lord is getting ready for this major battle, World War III. Okay? Keep playing it, A Spirit 144.
I'll say it took decades to materialize. Now, even through everything that is happening, we have reports surfacing. These reports claim that the United States of America is in the process of sending multiple and a continued onslaught of aircraft carriers to the Middle East. The initial reports came from Yemeni news sources, which aimed to rile up Iran. This given Yemen's civil war and their anti-Western alignment shows their own claims and bases. Now, whether it's actually happening or not, we have very important questions coming through. If China or Russia or even Iran believe that these developments are happening, they may use that information to preemptively signal their own readiness and strike. They could alert their allies and adjust their own military postures accordingly, and then that would make the United States of America act in aggression.
This season at City.
All right, and that's ultimately what's going to happen. All right, Salaki for the ads.
To this evolution of war footing, U.S. Central Command, they confirmed that sustained operations are going to continue in Yemen for some time.
Yeah, and ultimately what's going on with these, Yemen and the Houthis, ultimately they are, allied with Iran. And now, America, Trump actually just made a statement that, Iran better watch out or whatever, and we're going to attack Iran and whatever, because these Houthis are backed by Iran. Okay. And, then you have Russia that's going to come to the aid of Iran. And it's just going to turn to a total chaos, total nuclear war. Right. So let's go to this. Let's go to Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And this woe, these three woes in the book of Revelation is the world wars that are prophesied to take place. And two of them have already passed, World War I and World War II. They have already passed. But it said, behold, the third woe, World War III, comes quickly. So it's Bible prophecy that after World War II, which ended in September 2nd, 1945, shortly after that will be World War III. And that's what we see brewing up, heating up all around the world is World War III. All right. And yeah, we don't know the exact day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to be the day that we don't know the exact date, but we know the signs that the Lord told us to look for. And all of the signs are here. Okay. And as these things heat up all around the world, we're watching for one major prophecy, which is the mark of the beast. All right. The digital RFID microchip that's coming in the near future. Everybody's going to be tested. All right. If you want to continue to buy and sell, you're going to have to take a digital implant, which is that mark of the beast. All right. But the third woe comes quickly, man. All right. We'll play a little bit more and then we'll grab a few more and we'll close it out.
This is despite the fact that that country has largely reported to have suspended their attacks on Israel and reduced their activities in the Red Sea since the change in U.S. administration. But this is a show of force by Donald Trump that you don't screw with America anymore. The American military presence in the region remains firmly in place, and we have indications that there is going to be further engagement in just the next couple of days. Preparation, as you know, you're a prepper. It remains key in these times of uncertainty, and the best time to get ready for a crisis is before one happens. If you start after it already takes.
Right, and really the only way you can get ready for this crisis, you can't prepare for a nuclear war physically. You know, when the missiles drop, that's it. You're done. You're turned to dust. You're on fire. The only way you can prepare is spiritually, and that's ultimately for the elect of the nation of Israel. Only the elect will be delivered from this time of nuclear destruction, from the fire that's coming. Only the elect, only the Israelites. And if you're not an Israelite, you're through. Okay, you're not. You have no chance in hell in making it out of here. The only ones that have a chance is the Israelites, and even more so the elect. All right, the repented Israelites that have been chosen from the foundation of the earth to be saved by YAHAWASHI when he comes back. You know, because this shit's about to get gruesome, bloody. You know, America, as you know it, this whole place of America is going to be set on fire. That's the judgment. You know, the lake of fire is going to be America. This place is going to turn to a lake of fire when these missiles get shut off.
Takes place. You're behind the loop. Strategic positioning, resource managing, all of these things are very essential. History has shown us that this type of event can escalate rapidly, and it can happen with little to no warning.
These Sephora colognes are a scam.
Yeah, and that's how fast it's going to happen. The scriptures tell you that this place is going to be taken out in 1 hour.
That has made things very clear. The country of Iran will be held responsible if the Houthis continue their attacks. There's an
which they are. These Houthis are going to continue with the attacks because why? The Most High is putting that spirit on them. Okay, the Lord YAHAWASHI is a man of war. You know, and he's putting that spirit on these different kings to, you know, to fight to ultimately lead to World War III. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon," which in Jeremiah 50, Babylon is talking about America. Okay, so this is prophecy about America right here. But it says Jeremiah 59, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon," or America, "an assembly of great nations from the north country." So this is what's going to happen. The Lord is going to use Russia primarily and these other nations to come up against America, even America's allies. That's why now we're seeing these EU nations that are pretty much giving America the finger, you know. It says, "And they shall set themselves in array against Babylon," or America. "From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." Yeah, so when these arrows, which are symbolic for the nuclear missiles, you know, when they get shot off, they're not going to return back to the silo. They're going to shoot and they're going to set people on fire. You know, bombs is going to be dropping. Ain't no way you can prepare for what's coming beside, you know, turning toward the east and praying to YAHAWASHI to have mercy on you. You know, Jeremiah 50 and 14, it says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All you that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord." Yeah. And that's going into how this place, all these nations that have nuclear weapons, they going to end up shooting them at America, man. All right. This is all according to the prophecy. You know, Ezekiel 38, Joel chapter 3, Joel 2, Zephaniah 3, you know, 2 Peter. The day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. All the elements are going to be, you know, melted with fervent heat. That's this destruction that's coming, man. Right? And the only way out is through a chariot. The only way out is if the Lord has mercy on you and saves you. Right? And that's our message, is to repent. You know, repent and seek the Lord while he may be found. Repent, you know, and call on YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI to have mercy on you. Because if you don't have mercy from the Lord, this judgment is going to be crucial, man. All right. So I'm going to play a little bit more and then we'll close it out.
Imminent escalation in the region. This increases the likelihood that we're going to see direct military conflict with Iran much sooner than many people expected. Geopolitical turbulence has gold rising. We have a surging past $3,000. That was a threshold many people said gold would never make it to. This marks a new phase of instability. Now, historically, when we see price movements like this happen, we could even hit the $4,000 level. This will align itself with the onset of new wars. What if you see $5,000 gold? This would indicate an escalation immediately. Now, U.S. Central Command, also known as CENTCOM, you know that they already placed their U.S. military bases in the Middle East on high alert. We have reports coming in that they're doing so across Europe. There's an anticipation that there's retaliation attacks coming soon and that a war with Iran will be on the way. There's intelligence reporting that Iran has already deployed their missile warships throughout the Strait of Hormuz. This was under the protection of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. This suggests that there's an effort ongoing right now. Position your assets beyond immediate borders, maintain missile defense readiness, maintain wartime capability.
Yep. So, yeah, what you see all over the world, China increasing their military, you know, Russia and Ukraine, all this stuff that's taking place is ultimately going to lead to the prophecy of the destruction of America, Mystery Babylon the Great, and the lake of fire, all right? And YAHAWASHI coming back, the elect being delivered, right? And this is going to happen soon. You know, we're not going to be here doing these videos forever. And, you know, as time goes on, these prophecies are heating up, man. All right? So with that, call hello, YAHAWASHI. Till next time, shalom.